So, I'm going to give you a variation of the 3-4. This is only to be used by people with bankrolls that are willing to sacrifice a larger unit on the 4s than they are on the 3s. You have to understand this is a 3-unit effort, and you could get hurt. Let's see what happens. The idea of doing it this way is you could be at your 3-unit goal within well, 3 occurrences, right? Because you're willing to bet it on a 1-2, essentially. If you wanted to be more aggressive, you could do it on a 1-3, and that's what I'm going to show right now. Because if you did that, and you're able to catch a shoe that doesn't go through past 3 and 4, the 4 is going to pay you 2 extra, whereas the 3 is only going to pay you 1. You could do it on a 1-2 to be safer, because that way at least you're getting 1 every time, and then you only need 3. Now, I normally would always jump right on the run here after 3 at the beginning of a shoe. But for the purpose of this example, I'm going to bet against it. And let's see. See why I jump on it? It hit right away. And it might hit again. I mean, we see it all the time, right? Where we'll have a long run at the beginning of the shoe, and you just don't know how far it's going to go. You look like a dummy when you're betting against it at the beginning. It could be an all-banker shoe. You don't know nothing yet. There's no data. We got no way to know. But for the purpose of this example, to show why this is probably not a solid strategy, okay? Betting just the same color till it loses is a better bet, because you win one right there, and then whenever you lose it, you lose it. Even if it's the next hand, you didn't lose anything. It was a player bet. Oh, it was a banker bet. But yeah, regardless. Hopefully we get the player here. And we didn't see. Now, how far is this going to fucking go, right? See? That's why you got to be on it. I mean, fuck. See what I mean? It's going to keep going. Now, we're not betting nothing, but look what happened. If you were on it after the first 3 banks of the shoe, you would have already had 4 units at the beginning of that. Instead, you're thinking about the 4 units you just sacrificed. We're at 9,600. That's horrible. Horrible. Because now I need 4 units just to get even. So you see why flat betting is the best way to play? Because that's mental anguish. Now you're like, fuck, I hope it works again. But the problem is, it didn't work. So we got to go to a new shoe. We're not going to stay in this. We're going to figure out if that's going to fucking never go down 3 or 4 on player. Sometimes it happens side by side right away. So even if it happened long bank at the beginning, you're going to bet the player won't come down? I mean, you could. But not on a 1-3. Fuck. Okay, so I mean, now we're in loss recovery mode, right? We're down 4. Because we tried that right away. So, fucking son of a bitch. Okay, so now we gotta look for a run again. We gotta bet against it again. If nothing else, this will discredit the idea, especially at the beginning of a shoe. I would never bet against a 3-4 at the beginning of a shoe, because you just don't know. There's no data to show what kind of a shoe it is. As opposed to the other one where the 3-4 seemed very self-evident that it was never coming down. You had proof, We don't have any proof at the beginning. We're just pissing in the wind waiting. Okay, so here we go. We're going to bet for the player because it went 3. And we win. So we lost recovered 1 of the 4. We need 3 more back. Hopefully we get them all this year. Doesn't mean we will. That's the second player. We gotta spin it. Or we gotta burn another hand. That's third player. Okay, we'll see now. We're gonna try to get another one back. Tie. And bet it again. Win. Okay, so we're halfway there. We're halfway back. Okay, so we gotta burn a hand. If only it went this fast at the casino and you'd have to wait for a slow-ass dealer. Or rebuys or... Okay, so here we go. 3 threes in a row. Maybe it'll always stop on 3. That would be great. We'll get all our money back. 9. 30 to 1. There you go. Did you bet the bonus? Alright, so... We only got one left to recover. And then, you know, do whatever. Just quit on the strategy, right? It doesn't always work. Some shoes it works perfectly. Some shoes it fails right at the beginning. What are you going to do? That's why I said, okay, look at this. 4 times in a row, it went 3 side by side. This is great. This is great because at least we're not dicking around. We're going to know right away if we win or not. We win all 4 times. Look at that. Side by side 3s. I'm glad that happened since this is what I'm actually trying to use the video for. Okay, so we're going to move forward. Meanwhile, the seconds are hitting, right? Seconds have hit every fucking time. 6 in a row. Fuck. One could say, you could have bet for that too the whole time. After we had 3 direct on the second, you would have got 3 direct on the second. And if it went 3, you burn the hand after the second. If it went 3, now you're betting against it. You're winning those 2. So effectively, you would have won 7 units already because you would have had the three last of the seconds, and then you would have had all 3 of the 3s that chopped without going 4. So you would have won 7. And it's only game number 18. 7 units in the first 18. I'm sorry. I get excited when I see things like that because I know how powerful that is if I'm willing to fight for both variables. Although we should understand that is a unicorn start. Okay? Getting 6 things that come down on the second right away are pretty rare, and we would have only been on the last 3 of them. But to get all the 3 threes to chop without going 4 was amazing as well. So that's why I came up with this strategy, because I'll see shoes that this happens. Let's see if it goes 3 bank again. No, it tied. It was probably due for that. Yeah, it did. You think we're going to get this? Are we going to get 5 side-by-side 3s that don't go 4? That'd be freaking funny. I highly doubt it. I really doubt it. What do you think? It went. It chopped. See it. 5 fucking times. Dude. Oh my god. It would have been 5 units just off the 3s and never went 4. And if this next one hits, you'd have 4 units that would have completed the seconds. Let's see what happens. It did. Look at. Right? Take away the top roll, all these seconds hit. You wouldn't have been invested until you had at least 3 side by side. You would have won the next 4 of the seconds. And all the 3s were chopped. So 4 plus 5 is 9. You would have been up to 9 units. Now we do have 5, but we could be at 9. Oh my god. Sick. And it went to 3 again. Is it going to go 4? This is going to be great. I'm so glad this did this, just because it's in sequence of what I'm trying to play for right now. Let's see what would happen here. Okay, so finally something went 4. So, what do? Do you just flat bet it? I'll tell you what. If I was up that many, I'd be flat betting it. I wouldn't be doing 2 or 3 or anything else. So, based on the evidence, I'm just going to flat bet, because I'm not going to give away all my units, right? I'm not going to put 3 out there and be left with $90. Fuck that. I'm just going to do 1. Oop, not player, banker. And if it doesn't work, we'll nut the difference. But let's see. We're going to do it till it failed twice. And we win. Maybe I should have did 3. No, don't do that. You know what I mean? You don't want to give it all back. So let's see if the second would have hit again, just out of posterity. We're not betting for the seconds here. But you could have, and you would have been doing very mighty nice. Okay, so you would have lost that one if you were betting the seconds as well. But it would have only been 1. You would have had to do it again here, though. And what would have happened? You would have got it right back, so you'd be all right. You know, the seconds are alive for 2 hands, just like the 3-4 chop. So, you know, you take these 3 away. You would have had 1, 2, 3, 4 on the second. And then you would have lost 1, but you would have got it right back. So you'd still have those 4. And then all the threes stopped on 3 for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 5. We had the loss recover the 6. Yeah. So we still had 5. 5 plus 4 is 9 still. And yeah, 485's resemblance of the 5 that we took on the third's not going for. And yeah, the other 4 was from the second. So let's see if it comes down again. It didn't. Staying choppy chop now, right? All right, let's see if it goes 3. Oh, the second hit again, by the way. You would have got another unit on that. Okay, so 3 again. Bank has yet to go 4. So this feels strong. Alas, no. So we are potentially in a spot now where the bank will not go for, hopefully not go 5. If it does, the shoe's over. Okay, so it went 5. It's over. And look where you're at, 285, which is equivalent of $300. It's equivalent of $300. Okay, so you could be off of that shoe and be just fine. $300 a day times 30 days is $9,000, and you don't have to try any harder than that. Even if it was $50 for all 3 of those units, you'd have $150 a day times 30 days, be $4,500 times 3 months. You'd have $13,000. Just not being selfish like I was today. No, because I see this hand and I want to bet the Brad special, but watch what happens. It'd probably be long bank. And it is. How long did this go now? I know y'all want to know. I know you want to make fun of me. See, it's going to be long bank. See why I don't bet it, though. Long bank. Fuck. So, yeah. If you were on that long bank after 4, it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. But we weren't playing for that, right? We were playing for the 3s not to go 4, and look how well that worked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, the 6th one was a push because it went 4, but it didn't go 5. And then the next one lost twice. So, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus the 2 is 3. And that's where we're at, 285. That's 3 units. So that's not bad. We're only at 12 minutes, so I'm going to try this one more shoe. I said I was going to play it for a 1-3 just to show you what would have happened. And if you had done that on that shoe, you would have basically only made 1 unit, right? That would have been terrible to give it all back, right? So don't do that. Just flat cut. It's the safest and best way. I almost want to say bestest. Because, it's safer. Why put yourself through that anguish of knowing you had the money and you gave it back? There's no need to do that. There's no fucking need to do that. I'm telling myself this. Oh look, tying the first 3 hands. Traffic light. Okay, there's not a run of 3 yet. We got a chop. Right, chop again, yeah. Alright, let's see if it goes 3. Oh, I'm still chopping. So, to each their own. I guess a thing to consider here if you're going to employ the 3-4 strategy is see how the shoe's starting. If it's starting out chopped, then you don't got to worry about it because it's not in play. But if it comes 1-3-1 or something, and you're like, okay, I'm playing the 3-4. But if it starts out 1-2-1-2-1, you got to be bound that chop, right? So let's just see if we get a run here. It's probably all going to be chop. Let's see if it goes 3. Okay. Yeah, we got 3. Okay, so here's our first opportunity to bet. 1 time. Failed the first time. Did you get it second? So there you go. Fail. You're down 2 units. We're not playing that shoe. Fuck that shoe. Go to another one. I'll try one more shoe, and if it doesn't work, it just goes to show, like, I disqualify that. The second it goes 5, I'm off of that. I'm not playing that shoe. I'm not going to be like, well, I'll get him next time. Fuck that. I want a shoe that never does it. Once is already too many. So let's see here. You know, you go to another shoe and it'll produce a completely different way, and they can suck it. You can tell them to. Oh, look, tying the first 3 hands. I'm just saying, that happens a lot, you know. Okay, so 3 off the rip again. You know, normally we would not be betting against this run of 3 at the beginning. We'd be right on it just one time, 1 unit only, and not even a second bet. Just hope it would go. But for the purpose of this example, because it's 3, I'm going to bet against it. And it would have lost, see? And you're going to try again. I bet it goes player again. No, it came back. Okay. So it only went 4. So you didn't lose. You were basically even. So we're going to wait for another run of 3. Banker went 2. I wonder if it'll go 3 right away. It did. I wish it marked the naturals on that board, right? Anyway, I'm going to try for the player here. And I lost. Side-by-side 4s. Last year we had side-by-side 3s. Now we got side-by-side 4s. Okay. So, you know. We're going to see if it goes 5. We got to write that. Okay, good. It didn't. Oof. That was dangerous. So now we got to wait. Go back to even again. And wait for another run of 3. Nah. Might be seconds. I see it too. But not quite. This would have to be a second here in order to keep that. Okay, so that would have got your second bet back. You know what I mean? We had 3 seconds. So we could have been on it, but it would have lost and then got it right back on the player. No commission, which is always nice. There's 3 players, so here we go. We're going to bet bank. Of note, when it goes 3, it goes 4 of whatever color it is right now. So let's see what happens here. This might be a streaky shoe. Yeah, it might be a streaky shoe, guys. If this goes bank, if this goes player here, then we're off it. My phone needs to stop being a bitch. Okay, we won. Good. So, we're treading water here, but we're not getting that unit. We're not getting that capture on the 3rd one. I get nervous when I see that many runs of 4 to start a shoe. I ain't gonna lie. If this is the strategy I'm playing for, I feel like I'm tempting fate here. Especially if I was playing this on the 1-3 that I suggested possibly playing earlier, you were losing on the 1 unit, but you were winning on the 3 unit all 3 times. So the net difference would have been 6. You'd be up 6 units. You know. But you got to ask yourself, are you willing to put 4 units out there per effort? You know, per run of 4. Per run of 3 even. You're going to lose 1 on the 3 to 4. The 4s never went to 5. These blank boxes, that's where the 3s would have won. So you would have won 9 units, but you would have lost the ones before that for 1 unit. For a net of 3 losses. Difference being 6 units. You'd be up to 6 unit take right now. Instead, we're only broken even because I decided to flat bet. You know, I just wanted to point that out. But even if you're doing it on a 1, you don't have to be selfish. You do a 1-3. You could do a 1-2. And if you did a 1-2, you're getting your 1 back that you lost plus 1 more. You have your 3 units. You only need 3 units for the shoe. Motherfucker, right? So let's see if it goes 3 again here. I don't know. It might not do it again for a little bit. And I'm already at 19 minutes, so I want to push this along. And, you know, these couple videos here are going to do it for... Okay, so let's see if it goes back. It's going to do it for the 3-4. I'm not going to really go into this a whole lot after this, but I brought it up in the middle of videos before, so I wanted to talk about it, and here we are again. Now, remember what I just said about the 1-3. If the 3-unit bet would have won here, you'd be up to 8 units, and we're only 25 hands in. 8 units. See how the hook gets in your mouth with that? Listen, I made a lot of money on shoes like this betting aggressively, but this calls for the bank. So whether I'm a flat betting it, of course, but if I was doing the 1-3, it would be 8. Okay, I would have lost. Okay, so that individual effort. If I had already been up, 6 units. I would have gave away 4 of them there. I'd be left with 2. Instead, because I didn't bet it aggressively and I flat bet, all I did was get my money back in the first 3 occurrences of 4. And now this run of 4 ended up being 5. So now I lost 2 units, hence the 97.90. We're down 2 units. But if I played the aggressive way, I would have had 3 wins in a row on the 4 not going 5. And if you ask me, that's more than enough. Right? You don't even have to be aggressive at that point. You're up fucking 6. Right? At that point, if it ever happened again where it went 3, I'd probably reduce to a flat bet of a 1-1. And this is why. If you had 6 there betting a 1-3, and then you give away a 1-1 flat bet, well, that's only 2 units. You'd still have 4 to the good. 4 to the good would be better than being down 2 flat betting. So it just, depends what happens at the beginning of the shoe. It's also hard for me to, bet against that run of 3 player at the beginning of a shoe that it won't come down. But look, it didn't go past 4. I just see a lot of shoes where you get a long run at the beginning and I feel stupid betting against it, But that's a choice you got to make. How do you want to play the shoe before you even start? So if you were betting it on a 1-2, you would have had 3 units, and then you would have lost 2. You'd finish that effort with 1 unit take. If you're betting it on a 1-3, you would have had 3 units on the 2 units net on the first one, 2 units net on the second one, 2 units net on the third run of 4. For a total of 6, and then you would have lost. Well, it just depends. If you were betting it on a 1-3, well, you'd be left with 2. But if you decided after you won 3 times, where a 4 never went 5, and you didn't want to tempt fate after winning 3 in a row, because let's be honest, right? And you reduced to a 1-1, you'd have 4 units left. That would be great. So anyway,